So welcome. My name is Shay, your love diva. I am a master certified love strategist. I've been voted one of the top 5 love coaches in the entire world, but I'm the best in the world at helping women like you to be able to heal what's blocking you from love and use the science of attraction in order to attract your romantic best friend. So if you are looking to up-level your love life, ma'am, you are in the right spot, and I'm getting ready to share secrets that you have never heard anywhere else that's going to guarantee that you will meet your romantic best friend this year. So I promise you, you're gonna wanna pay attention. Why am I here? Why am I doing this? The reason why I'm doing this is because over 20 years ago, I was you. I was in your position. I had no idea what the heck I was doing when it came to love and relationships. I thought in order to be able to attract love, you had to earn love because that's what I saw growing up. I witnessed my mother be abused by my dad on a regular basis, and that created a dysfunctional pattern of attracting dysfunctional relationships. Any healthy man, I rejected that man. Subconsciously, I just didn't want him, or I ended up breaking up with him, or I ended up not selecting those type of men. I would choose the men that would break my heart every single time, to the point where I have been in an abusive relationship, to the point where I got pregnant with my daughter's father, only to be beaten when I was 10 months pregnant. Literally, I was 3 weeks late and I was 10 months pregnant and was beaten when I was 10 months pregnant. Then I ended up marrying a married man, okay? Go right and tell about that. Okay. Now, I didn't do it on purpose for all of the judgy folks out there. However, even though I never even imagined I would find myself in that situation, I actually married a con artist who was already married. When I tell you guys I've been through the ringer, I've been through the ringer. I found myself homeless, sleeping in my car, unable to buy any food, with a 5-week-old baby. And when I was at the lowest point of my life, I realized that I needed to make a shift and I needed to make a change. I realized that I was repeating the same patterns that my mother repeated, that her mother repeated, and that her mother repeated. And I realized that I had no idea how to create a healthy environment where my daughter got to witness seeing healthy relationships. So in that moment, I made my daughter a promise. I promised her, one, that mommy was gonna figure out this love thing. I was gonna figure out how to be able to attract a high value man who would be a great father to her. I also promised her that I would figure out how to be able to have a healthy relationship so that she can see what a healthy relationship looked like. And I promised her a big backyard. Now, let me tell you how I was able to keep this promise and learn the information that allows me to give you literally the keys to the kingdom. I ended up doing something that now, because I did it, you don't have to do it. I went on a dating experiment where I went on over 100 dates in a little over 3 months. I graduated pre-med biology. Science is my jam. I was gonna be a pediatric cardiologist. And I was thinking that, how can I make it predictable to guarantee that I would be able to attract love? How can I make it so predictable that I can increase my options of high value men? And what I turned to, because that's what I knew, is science. So I did a dating experiment where I went on a little over 100 dates in a little over 3 months, and I interviewed over 4,000 men, women, and couples, and I read hundreds of love, dating, and relationship books. I read books and studies on the anthropology of attraction. I was reading the science of attraction. I studied experts like Dr. Helen Fisher, Dr. Llewellyn Brizendine, Don Maslar, Dr. John Gray, just to name a few. And when you hear all over on Beyonce's internet about the vasopressin, you can go back on my YouTube channel. I've been the science of attraction girl. I've been talking about the science of attraction because I believe when I can arm you with the whys of how to date and how to date based on what triggers a man to be attracted to you or not, what triggers you to be able to attract the high quality men versus the low quality men, then it puts you in an advantage position because now you know the whys to what it is that you're doing. And when you're clear about the formula of what you should do and why you should do it, then now you're in the driver's seat. And the reason why I'm talking to you is because when I was younger, I could not save or help my mother. However, because of the information that I've learned, I can help and save you. So let me tell you what it is that I learned when I did this dating experiment that was so extremely powerful that I went from getting played all day and night to finally getting paid. And when I say paid, it went from me losing hundreds of thousands of dollars on men, okay? Because I ended up losing my house, I lost my car, I lost my job one time because I was with a Build-A-Bear. And from money that I spent because they lost their jobs, they had sob stories, etc. Me believing in their potential, How many of you guys know what I'm talking about? When you believe in a man's potential, he gives you the sob story, and you think it's just going to be a week or two, you being a good woman. You don't want to be that gold digger. So here you are, that ride or die, and you literally are dying. Okay, you're dying. You're not riding, you're dying. That was me. And I lost so much daggone money. And I went from getting played all the time to finally getting played. That means I was attracting Build-A-Bears to attracting high-tier men. Men who not only wanted to commit to me, but men who actually were financially successful. Men who had character. Men who wanted to marry me. Men who wanted to give me the world. One man bought me a house because I said that I wanted to invest and gave me the deed to the house. Another one bought me a car. I was getting trips. Me and my friends were getting trips. We were getting shopping sprees. That was like the inside joke in my friend group. Why guys always wanted to spend money on me, or why they always wanted to give me things. And I'm telling you, it does not matter what you look like. Okay? Somebody put it in the chat because I want that to sink into your subconscious mind. It does not matter what you look like. It doesn't matter your size. It doesn't matter how many kids you have. I had 2 kids when I was doing my dating experiment. It doesn't matter. When you understand the formula that I'm getting ready to teach you, and when you have a different understanding of how you should do dating. Actually, there's a gene called the DRD4 gene, and the DRD4 gene has been shown that when a man has that particular gene, that means that he has an increased risk of being a cheater. And there are signs for you to tell if that's going to be that kind of man. However, ma'am, what I would encourage you to do is I would encourage you to get a different truth, because whatever you believe, you're absolutely right, ma'am. It's true. It's right. It's going to be true for you. That's going to be the reality that you're going to attract every single time, because you don't get what you want. You get what you expect. What would be wise, okay, what I would encourage you to do is learn better so that you can do better and so that you can have better. And what I'm getting ready to teach you is going to give you the tools so that you can be able to learn and do better. And you can tell when a man most likely has that gene. It's not hard to be able to tell when a man has a DRD4 gene. Now, you can tell when a man is going to be a player. You can tell when a man's going to be abusive. You can tell when a man's going to be a cheater. When you really understand this and you really master this, you can literally tell by the way they walk. Okay? At this point now, in less than 30 seconds, anybody can bring me their man and I can tell, is he a good guy or is he not a good guy? And this is without me even tapping into my gift of sight. Okay? And eventually you guys are going to be able to learn and tap into that same type of power. So let's go into the science of attraction. Now, before I ever start teaching, to be in spiritual alignment, I always have to ask you for permission to coach you. Because some of you guys will telepathically, energetically send me questions, and you will allow me to be able to see what's going on with you, and then I will be able to speak to that. So in order for me to coach you, I normally charge, my clients will pay me $300,000 a year to work with me. That's $20,000 an hour that they're paying me. I'm getting ready to give you this $20,000 an hour advice. But before I give you that advice, I want you to say, yes, ma'am. Okay? If I have permission to coach you, put it in the chat to give you this $20,000 coaching that I give to my elite clients who pay me $300,000. Now, my other coaches, it's different. It's between $20,000 to $75,000. But for my elite clients, they pay me $300,000. And I'm getting ready to give you the same top tier advice that I give to them. But first, I need your permission. So if I have your permission, go ahead and put yes, ma'am in the chat. Go ahead and put yes, ma'am in the chat so that I have permission to coach you. All right. Now, this is the first thing that I want you to understand. This is your whole entire intentions. Your intentions is always to date, to evaluate, not to qualify. It is not your job to prove your value to any man. When you get that deep in your soul, ma'am, you're going to date with a different kind of energy, which is going to affect how you show up in the dating game. That's the first rule before I start talking about the 6 different phases. Date to evaluate, not qualify. Somebody drop it in the chat for me. Okay? The second rule is that you will always attract based on your love archetype. You will date and you will attract based on your love archetype. In order to empower yourself when you're dating, it is important that you understand what your love archetype is. So what is a love archetype? Your love archetype, I discovered by working with over 180,000 different women. I've helped over 180,000 different women around the world to be able to up-level their love life. And after you work with that many women over 2 decades, you start to see a pattern. You start to notice that women will fall into one of 5 categories. They will either be a ruby, that type A make it happen woman, or they would be an onyx, that woman who's empathic but doesn't have boundaries, or they would be the citrine, the woman who is oftentimes physically, emotionally, or mentally abused, or she will be the diamond who has low confidence, low self-esteem, or she will be the amethyst. The amethyst has experienced sexual trauma. A lot of times women will have overlapping. You might have a woman who's that ruby, type A, amethyst, that's the top combination. Or you can be an onyx ruby or onyx ruby amethyst. You can find yourself to be multiple combinations. However, when you take the Love Success Assessment that is on my link in bio for free, then you will see that you fall into one primary archetype. If you know what your archetype is, put it in the chat. Because I'm going to speak to how, based on your love archetype, how you are interacting when we talk about the science of attraction and how that's affecting the quality of the men that you're dating. Overwhelmingly, at least over 90% of my practice are amethysts, and over 90% of them are amethyst rubies. So you're going to see that you probably overlap in one way or another. Now, here's the thing why your archetype is so important. The reason why your archetype is so important because it's going to tell you what is your love block and what type of man you are most likely to attract. For instance, let's take the ruby. For the ruby woman, she was either criticized by an adult, emotionally or physically neglected in some type of way. And in order for her to get her need of significance met, which is one of the 6 human needs, then she became a performer. She started to overperform when it came to academics, or when it came to athletics, or when it came to being the good girl, or whatever it is. She had to be the best at what it is that she was doing. And she's the kind of make it happen woman that when she puts her mind to something, she's going to find out the information, she's going to apply it, and that's going to lead to her achieving the results in her professional life. However, what works in the boardroom doesn't work in the bedroom of relationships. So she finds herself frustrated every single time because no matter how much she's getting all the free information online or from advice from friends or whatever, her love life still continues to attract the man babies and the narcissists. The men who are intimidated by her success, the men who are intimidated by her strength, or the men who want her to take care of them, the men who can't add any value, the men who are emotionally unavailable, and the narcissists. Love them some rubies. They like to suppress and dominate a ruby, okay? They can absorb their energy really easily. And then for the woman who's the amethyst, she tends to attract low life, men who have addiction issues, who are narcissistic, men who are liars, who's cheaters, who have all kinds of different dirty little closet secret things. And the reason why for an amethyst, it is very rare for an amethyst woman to be able to attract and maintain a healthy, long-lasting relationship, because the wound of having such a sacred part of her taken when she couldn't protect herself is such a huge violation that it leaves a hole that creates a magnet to toxic, dysfunctional men. So she has to heal in order for her to be able to attract a healthy relationship. For an onyx tend to attract men who are narcissistic or married and or controlling, because onyx don't have boundaries. They oftentimes are people pleasers because they can feel people's emotions. They can sense how people feel. They have sympathy and empathy for them, which is a gift for you to be able to tell that. However, when it's out of balance because of your traumas, because being an empath, you have to understand, is a trauma. That what gave birth to your strength is based in trauma. Just like for the ruby, what gave birth to her strength was her not getting her emotional needs met. What gives birth to the strength of an onyx is the fact that she was in an emotional environment that wasn't emotionally safe for her. So she had to be able to pick up on the temperature of the room quickly in order to keep herself safe. And that meant that she had to tune into the emotions and the feelings of other people. That also meant that oftentimes she became a people pleaser and she didn't have much boundaries. So it's hard for her to truly say no to somebody that she really cares about. Narcissist loves that. They would play off of that. They would give her the sympathy. All a narcissist really has to do for Onyx is cry, and then he gets away with whatever. And that's the reason why Onyx tend to attract married men. And then when you have the Citrine grew up in an abusive household. She either witnessed abuse or was abused. So then she tends to attract abusive relationships. And then for the Diamond will always attract the man that will belittle her, that will not see her value. That man that can't really commit to her or choose her or value her because she doesn't value the diamond that she is in herself. Instead, she sees herself like a piece of coal. Now, keep in mind what your archetype is, because based on your archetype, that's going to determine how you enter into the dating game. How do you enter in and react in each one of the phases? Now, there are 6 of the phases when it comes to relationships. The first phase, ma'am, is the attraction phase. In the attraction phase, he sees your beautiful, delicious self. Now, ma'am, again, no matter what lies you've been telling yourself about you feeling like you're not this enough or that enough, there's a man who thinks that you are the cat's meow. You are somebody's flavor of ice cream. Don't believe that. Don't think that. You need to know that. There's a man who will worship the ground that you walk on when you finally see your value. However, when a man sees you and he's attracted to you, what that means is you have triggered his testosterone. Because according to Dr. Helen Fisher, there is no love at first sight, ma'am. He doesn't know you from Sam's Alley Cat. Okay? He doesn't know you. Okay? What's being triggered is his nature to procreate. That's what's being triggered. So what does he want, ma'am? He's not looking for love at first sight initially. He is not looking for you and him to run off in the sunset for the Notebook. That's not what he's looking for. Love and basketball. That's not what he's looking for, ma'am. You are the ham sandwich, okay? You are his kibbles and bits, ma'am, okay? What he's looking at is your peach cobbler, your Snickers, okay? That's what he wants, ma'am. He wants your honey pie, your cookie, is what he wants, all right? If you lie to yourself and you tell yourself that he wants something other than your pudding pop, then you're going to set yourself up. You're gonna move way too fast. You're gonna give him way too much information, and you're gonna cause yourself to fall too fast. Now, here's something that's biochemically true that you have to understand, and this will save you from so much heartbreak. Understanding how you are biochemically wired when it comes to love, dating, and attraction versus how a man is biochemically wired. Now, a man is biochemically wired to fall slow, ma'am. Initially, he's wired to procreate. That's just what it is. You are a hamburger and some french fries to him. They have done a study to show that the same biochemical release that he's having when he's attracted to you and he hasn't built any emotional connection to you is the same reaction he has when he's looking at a delicious sandwich and some fries. That's it, okay? Some chips and some lemonade, man. That's basically it. That's the part of his brain that's being lit up. In order for him to see you as more, that requires time. So he is designed to fall slow as he is earning your heart. However, which seems like it's unfair, you were designed biochemically. You were biochemically wired to fall fast. You actually start to create bonding hormones. You start to release the bonding hormone oxytocin when you are talking to him and when he's seducing you, when you're falling for him, when he's smelling good, when he's saying the right things, when he seems to check off the boxes, right? He's handsome, he smells good, he's smart, he has money, X, Y, and Z, then you start to produce oxytocin, norepinephrine. You are producing adrenaline. What does that mean? That means you are producing a chemical cocktail to cause extreme bonding. And the more time you spend with him too fast, the faster you're going to fall. Which is why you must, if you get nothing else that I'm saying, based on understanding the science, you must understand that you have to date a certain way. You have to date with a different level of understanding the science of attraction. What does that mean, Shay? That means, ma'am, For the love of everything holy, please stop listening to people who tell you to do dinner date, and stop listening to people that tell you to stop doing coffee date because it's low effort and all that other crap. Man, for the love of everything holy, please stop doing that. Studies show that women who do coffee date consistently are more likely to get married faster to higher quality men who have higher incomes than women who don't. It was a study that was published from the University of Colorado that shows that when you are talking to somebody and you're drinking something warm, you are more likely to think positive thoughts and to start bonding with them. When you're drinking something cold, the opposite happens. If you understand that as a woman, you are designed to fall fast, you're producing the oxytocin, you're producing the epinephrine, which diminishes your fear factor, ma'am. It's also diminishing your discernment. Your discernment is off the more you start to produce that oxytocin. And then the adrenaline starts to cause you to get addicted to the high of being attracted to him. That's when you've ever had a man who, like, whenever he called, you would get like excited. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like a dopamine hit. How many of you know what I'm talking about? Whenever you heard his little special ringtone, I don't know if people still do that. Whenever you heard his little special ringtone, you would get like that excitement. You would look at your phone like, did he text me? Or that hit, ma'am. That's that adrenaline. That's that dopamine. And you can produce that oxytocin just off of texting. Listen to what I'm saying. You can fall just by creating an image in your mind, an idea. You can fall for the idea of him. That's not how men work. All that time you're talking on the phone, ma'am, he's not falling for you. All that texting, science and studies, men don't fall like that. Men aren't falling for you when they're texting, when they're talking long distance. That's not how men fall in love, baby. That's how you fall in love. That's the reason why you shouldn't be on the phone for long periods of time talking about a whole bunch of nothing, okay? That's the reason why you don't want it to be a sexual conversation, a textual conversation where all you guys are doing is texting back and forth. No, ma'am, okay? There's no such thing as no textual chemistry with him. He's not creating the bonding chemical hormones when all you're doing is texting and messaging in a bottle and Skyping and doing all the whatever foolishness that you're doing, ma'am, okay? That's not how it works with him. The way a man falls for you is through earning you. So once you get past the attraction phase and you enter into the courting phase, then kicks in your archetypes. If you're a ruby, then if you've gotten hurt before, oh my God, no man is ever going to get a chance to catch you vulnerable like that again. For a ruby, when she gets her heart broken, it usually happens one time. And she might end up getting in relationships. She might end up, like having situations or what have you. She might lukewarm settle for a man. But for her to fully fall and give her heart, no ma'am, that's not what a ruby will allow herself to do. A ruby is going to be on guard. So for a man who's genuine, for a man who's masculine, for a man who is in his nature to want to pour into you, that's going to turn him off. Rubies oftentimes operate in their masculine energy because of that need to protect themselves, to be able to shield themselves. And with that, that's going to repel the masculine men. That's going to be a magnet to the feminized men who want you to pour into them. Now, when I say feminized, okay, that means that he's out of balance because everything in the universe has a frequency and a vibration. And the better you understand that, the easier it is. That's the reason why, man, you got two of these. He does not, okay? As a woman, your brain even is different than a man. Biochemically, it's different than a man. The way you bond is different than a man. And there's a frequency to that. So if his balance is out of order, if it's over 30% in his feminine energy, he's out of order. It should be 30% feminine energy, 70% masculine energy. For a woman, 70% feminine energy, 30% inner masculine energy. So when you're out of order, you're going to be a magnet to a man who's now in his feminine energy, who is draining you, who wants you to pour into him. So now you're showing up in the courting phase and you're guarded. So only people that's going to stick around are going to be the dysfunctional ones who are going to want to drain you. First of all, having sex too soon sets you up to attract the Build-A-Bears. The Build-A-Bears, if they're going to stay, they're either going to stay or they're going to go away. when it comes to having sex too soon. Because for the Build-A-Bears, they know that they got you. They know that you're emotionally hooked. He hasn't been bonded yet. He's not there because he's bonded to you, ma'am. He's there because of the convenience that he can get from you, so that he can drain from you. And the moment is another option, then like the little leapfrog game that we used to play back in the 90s, he's gonna leapfrog to the next option because he has nothing to give to anybody else. He has no source himself, okay? So during the courting phase, when he's saying all the right things, ma'am, understand that he's saying all the right things because he's trying to get it. That's in his nature. Now, this is what happens when you have been following the love success formula that I have been teaching you. He sees a woman who's highly in her confidence, a woman who is healed and knows her value, a woman who has standards and not everybody can access her young. And so he is trying to figure you out. You are a busy woman. You don't have time to go out on dinner dates and talking on the phone and being readily available to just anybody and their uncle. You don't have time for that. You got to earn my time. You have to show me why you are worth me going out on a date with you, talking to you, and you get a little bit more at a time. Now, this is what happens when you date like that. And I'm not talking about playing games, because trust and believe, if this is not naturally you, if this is not something that you do because you already standing in your power, then trust me, it's just going to attract the toxic men. He's going to play the game too, get what he wants, and then he's going to leave. It only works when you have become her, okay? Now, what's going to happen is that he's going to trigger CAP, curiosity, anticipation, and polarity if he's a masculine man. For a masculine man, I'm breaking down to you biochemically what happens. As he starts to fall for you and you're triggering curiosity, anticipation, and polarity, then what happens is his testosterone starts to drop, his serotonin starts to drop, and you have triggered his dopamine, and you have started the process of triggering his vasopressin. That is going to be a big deal later on. But let me break down to you what it means when he is going through this courting phase as his testosterone is dropping and his serotonin is dropping. It looks like without you asking, he is going to check your car without you having to ask. And he's going to take your car to the shop to make sure your car is safe for you to drive in. He's going to want to help get your car washed. He's going to see aspects that require for you where he can protect you. He's going to ask about certain things about you to make sure if you have certain needs, he's going to try to fill those needs in order to make your life easier. And as he is doing for you, as he is pouring into you consistently, because that's what masculine energy does, his testosterone starts to drop. His serotonin starts to drop. When you are on the side of the road and your car breaks down, because of course, you're gonna have a moment where your car is going to break down, ma'am. If you don't hear me, talk to your neighbor. You're gonna have a moment where your car breaks down. It won't start. You don't know what the heck is wrong with your car. You're not a mechanic. You're not an expert. Your car is breaking down. And I don't know what's happening. I can't start my car. And he's either going to say, where are you? I'm on my way. Are you safe? If he says, catch a lift, get AAA, if he says, oh, I will pray for you, thoughts and prayers, or I hope it works out for you, or any of those things, ma'am. Sorry. If he says any of those things, ma'am, first of all, that's not a masculine man. Second thing is, ma'am, I can guarantee you he has not biochemically fallen for you at all, okay? And this is like about 2 to 2.5 months that when your car breaks down, when you lost your keys, when you've had a situation where you need him to help you. And I'm not talking about asking for money. That's not what I'm telling you. That's what novices do. If you're the type of woman that goes around asking men for money, ma'am, you have no idea what you're doing. It's embarrassing. It's cringy. It means that if giving you money, he's broke. He's a Build-A-Bear. He's playing a game. It's not gonna last. He will give you the money to hook you and then turn around and move in your house, and then you'll find you're paying way more than he ever paid in the beginning, ma'am. Because men who have money, they can see right through that, and it turns them off, and it's classless, just to say the least. If a man isn't the type of man who is initiating wanting to give to you, if he's not initiating wanting to protect you, if he's not initiating these things, that's a sign. Pay attention, be quiet. Some of y'all talk too daggone much, okay? I want a man who does this, a man need to do that, and a man, ma'am, hush it. You're telling them way too much, ma'am. You done told them about your ex and how the ex then slept with your best friend, who slept with your other friend, who then went with your daddy, and you're doing way too much, ma'am. You're doing too much, okay? You gotta learn how to zip it up and listen, because a man will always tell you who he is if you can shut it up. Some of you guys, you think that you can become a man's mama. He said something crazy and then you want to get into a full-on debate with an idiot. For what, ma'am? And he's enjoying it because he's simply eating up your energy. Instead of you just being quiet, reserve your energy. And when he tells you in so many words that he's a broke back, humpback, lazy Build-A-Bear, and he's good for only the streets, you can be like, thank you for the information. Have a blessed and prosperous life. I'm peace out. There's nothing for you to teach him. If his mama couldn't teach him, ma'am, what makes you think that you can teach him? You just can't. So during the courting phase, you will know if this man is biochemically bonding to you, because you will know by certain behaviors, not what he's saying. Men don't fall in love based on what he's saying. Men fall based on what he is doing and what he is willing to do, what he's willing to sacrifice for you. So when he's going through the courting phase and biochemically his serotonin is dropping, he's becoming emotionally attached to you. He wants to be nurturing to you. He's becoming addicted to thinking about you and what it takes in order to make you happy. And the drop in testosterone is causing an increase in his cortisol. Increasing his cortisol means, ma'am, he's starting to get stressed. And he doesn't know why he's getting stressed. All he knows is that he's feeling like he's losing a piece of his identity. So then he will go through what's called the pull-away phase. Now, so many women are confused by this, okay? So many women, they get their feelings hurt when a man enters into the third phase, which is the pull-away phase. If you are a ruby, the ruby is going to try to run away first, okay? The ruby, if he blinks too slow, ruby is already out of there. Okay, if it's the onyx is already trying to talk and have a conversation and trying to understand his feelings and his emotional acuity, and she wants to know all of his daggone attachment dysfunctional styles and all of this and that and the third, and she wants to diagnose him and figure out how she can help fix him to be a better man, to be emotionally available for him, and all this other foolishness. If she's a citrine, then she will tolerate a man who is just like emotionally distant, who will leave for a month or two and then try to come back. And then if she is a diamond, she would do the same thing because she doesn't really see her value. And if she's an amethyst, amethyst would just go through the whole ringer or just stay by herself, okay? It'd be that kind of extreme. Now, when you go through the pull-away phase, the way that you handle the pull-away phase can mean everything. Now, this is biochemical, ma'am. Read the book, Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus by Dr. John Gray. And for all those who, whenever I say Dr. John Gray, you think of the cheating pastor. Ma'am, no ma'am, I'm not talking about him. Okay, I'm talking about the author, Dr. John Gray, who wrote Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus, Mars and Venus on a Date. He's written multiple books. That's what I'm talking about. He breaks this down really well, because the process of a man going through the pull-away phase, when he's bonded to you, I'm not talking about the man that's playing games, okay? I'm not talking about the man that's just there because he's trying to use you and he's had sex already. This doesn't count. Listen to me. This does not count if you've already had sex. If you've had sex before he's went through the pull-away phase, then ma'am, I'll tell you what to do, okay? But can you please start keeping your cookies in your cookie jar, because ma'am, it's putting you in a disadvantage. All right, no ma'am. All right, no ma'am. You gotta let him earn it. But I'll tell you what to do in a minute. So when he goes through the pull-away phase, his cortisol has dropped. He's pulling back so that his testosterone can rebound. Now, some women are so fabulous, living her life, that she doesn't notice when he goes through the pull away phase. And different men go through the pull away phase in different extremes. What I have noticed in my research is that when a woman is the type of woman that he has to work for and he had to earn, and she has a life, then the pull away phase is so minute that she doesn't really notice, especially if she hasn't had sex with him. If you've had sex with him, if you spent way too much time with him, if you've moved fast into like acting like you're in a relationship, that type of thing, the pull away phase tends to be way more extreme. And when he's going through the pull away phase usually happens around 2.5 to 3 months. And during that pull away phase, he's giving less effort. Like, he's not calling as much, he's not texting as much, he's making excuses, he's gotta work late, all that different things that he's telling you, right? When he goes through the pull away phase. Now, based on your love archetype, that's gonna trigger certain insecurities. For some of y'all, you're gonna start chasing him. You think that if you put it on him, you're gonna show him why he needs to choose you. For others, you're gonna try to have the daggone conversation. For others, you're gonna be too readily available to him. And for those of you who are boss divas, because you've done already went through Boss Diva University, you've learned how to be able to date in your power, then what you're gonna do is you are a single woman. And you understand the power of options as a single woman who's not having sex with a man. As a single woman, you know you do not owe a man your exclusivity without his commitment. So you are dating at least 3 men at a time. And you're dating for data. You're dating because dating is an interview process. You're not dating because it's a vajayjay fest, okay? It's not playing vajayjay roulette hoping that it works out. That's not what you're doing. And because you're dating 3 men at a time, when he goes through the pull away phase, you're like, oh, I didn't even notice that he was gone. You're dating and you are identifying who's the best option for you. And as it narrows down to the man that's wanting to commit to you, to the man who's serious about you, to the man who's been pouring into you, to the man who's been showing you that he's willing to provide because he's paying for dates and he's not asking you to pay 50-50, not asking you or expecting you to tip anybody because he takes pride in being a man and paying for the date. He's doing things that little things to show you that he wants to cover you. Then when you go through the pull away phase, which is amazing. I loved it when I was doing my dating experiment, when a guy would go through the pull away phase, because I knew my value. And just like every dog comes back for his bone, I knew he was going to come back for his. And I'm not saying men are dogs. What I am saying, the premise is when you stand in your power, and if this is your man, you know that man is going to come back, and when he does, he's going to come back bigger and better than ever. Why? Because your absence is a gift. Your absence is what determines the value of your presence. Instead of dating to your fears, and you're dating in your power, and you let him miss you, and you let him enjoy your absence. When he realizes the prize, that gives him the space to realize, like, oh my God, this is what it would feel like if she permanently wasn't in my space. If I permanently no longer had access to her. Oh my God, what if somebody else takes my prize? Because that's how their minds are built. As a matter of fact, science has a word for it. It's called mate garden. That means that they want to guard and protect what is theirs. They become territorial of what is theirs. They don't want any other man to claim what is theirs. By month 2 to 3, he has been producing vasopressin. Vasopressin is a man's bonding hormone. However, this is one thing that I really want you to understand. Him producing vasopressin is not enough. He must produce the vasopressin receptors. The vasopressin receptors are what catches the vasopressin. And a man can produce vasopressin and not be able to produce the receptors. As a matter of fact, the reason why you want to take your time before you're just throwing your vajayjay sunshine up in the air is because what it does is it allows his vasopressin receptors to clear itself of the testosterone that's blocking it. Because right now, the vasopressin receptors, first of all, they're blocked with testosterone, and also they're not activated. You got to give them a chance to activate. And because they're not activated, you have to upregulate the vasopressin receptors. So now that the vasopressins have had a chance to upregulate, then now it has a chance to keep catching vasopressins. You know what that means? What science shows is that the longer he's able to have a chance, according to Don Mazur's book, Men Chase, Women Choose, when you give him a chance to produce the vasopressin receptors, then he is more likely to bond to you long term. And not only bond to you long term, to want to provide, to want to protect, to want to cover you, to want to pour into you, to want to make you happy. And it actually feels good to him. So be careful who you're listening to. Because if you think that, a lot of women say, well, it doesn't matter if I have sex with him on the first night or if I have sex with him in 3 months. Either way, if he wants me, he's gonna stay. If not, first of all, that's backwards way of thinking, okay? It makes absolutely no damn sense at all, okay? At this point, ma'am, just stop cooking your food and just eat out the trash at this point, because that's just absolutely lazy. You're not dating because you are waiting for a man to approve of you. You are dating in your power because you are attracting a man that you are going to be able to approve of, because you are allowing yourself the space and the time to properly vet him. You are giving yourself an opportunity to be able to see his 3 faces. Write this down, ma'am. Every man has 3 faces. He has his public face, the face that you met, the one that you had sex with, the one that he seduced, the one that he shows you, that face that makes you think that he actually washes his butt completely and doesn't leave a skid mark in his underwear. Yeah, that face. Then he has his private face, the face that you only see when you have an intimate relationship with him. And then his secret face. And his secret face, sometimes not even his wife sees the secret face. And if you move too fast, you will miss seeing who this man really is. How many of you ever married a man and you divorced and you woke up one day and you were like, who in the hell did I marry? Who did I marry? And how did you end up there? You end up there because you didn't give yourself an opportunity to probably vet him, and you probably didn't even know how to be able to properly vet, select, and attract a high value man. You got to be able to give yourself the space and time to be able to do that and let this man earn you and show you through putting him through the test, ma'am. Call it whatever you want to, okay? Call it playing games. It's called the dating game for a reason, the mating game for a reason. Every species does it. And then we are demonized as women for doing it ourselves when we have the most to lose, when we choose the wrong person to be intimately involved with. Now, if a daggone eagle is willing to put a male eagle through the test, if she first meets a male eagle, she will pick up a stick and she will fly high, and then she will drop the stick to see what he does, to see if he's about all that game he was talking on the ground. And if he catches the stick, she says, okay, I see you, but that's not enough. She'll go and she'll get a bigger stick, fly even higher, because she's like, okay, we didn't even do much the first time. I need to see that you're willing to ride with me. I need to make sure you're not going to slow me down. I need to make sure that you're not a hater who's going to talk about big money and, oh, you got it like that, and be intimidated when I'm successful, when I'm accomplishing my goals. So let's see how high you can fly. And then she will drop that bigger stick to see if he is strong enough, fast enough, powerful enough, intelligent enough to catch the bigger stick. And when he catches that, she's like, okay, you working with something, but that still doesn't do it for me, okay? She'll get a log, and she'll fly up where the altitudes are high, where most birds can't fly because they will pass out. And she needs to know, are you the type of man that when the going gets tough, are you going to be standing beside me? Or are you going to find another bird lady that you're going to jump into with when I'm not being perfect, when I'm not feeling well, when it's that time of the month, when life gets difficult? Are you going to leave me and my bird babies alone when you experience certain changes in your life? Like, are you going to be able to ride with me when it gets difficult, when it seems like the world is against us? Are we going to be a true partnership? Are you going to be able to handle the load that we carry? Because I'm building an empire. I'm not just building little twigs and sticks down there. I'm building an empire, and I need to know that you would be able to build an empire with me. I don't have time to have any type of bird man holding me back. I don't have time to have any bird man that's going to be just talking noise. I need somebody that when he needs to get resourceful, he's not going to talk about, you need to stick with me even if I don't have money. A real woman is going to ride with a man even when times get hard. I need a type of man bird who's going to be willing to figure it out, provide for his family, have goals, have plans, do what it takes in order to hit them without me having to be the one to constantly tell you what it is to do. So let's ride high and let me see if you can catch this log. Because when my baby bird falls out the nest, because I'm nursing the other baby birds, I need to know you are strong enough to catch my child. I need to know if you're strong enough to raise a real man bird instead of a little weak baby bird or a Build-A-Bear bird. I need to understand that I can repeat the legacy through you with who I'm giving birth to. So catch this log and let's see what you can do. And then she would drop that log and see if that man bird can catch it. And when that bird eagle catches the log, she's like, oh, okay. You about that life, huh? And then she would take her little eagle talons and she will dig into him and grab him and start doing the death spin. And she will spin, almost till they hit the ground. And she's like, okay, You talked all that noise. You said you want to mate with me for life, and you want me to have your little bird offsprings, and you said that you want to build with me, and you said I'm your soulmate. I see what you're saying, and I see what you've been doing, but I need to know you're for real. Are you willing to die for me? Are you willing to live for me? Are you willing to have me be the only bird woman that's in your life for life? Because I'm not trying to do this off and on thing. I'm not trying to do this jump from one bird nest to another bird nest. That's not the game that I'm playing here. I need somebody that we're riding out for life. I need to show my bird babies what a healthy environment looks like. What are you about? Are you going to die for me or not? And she will keep spinning to see if he is going to let go or if he's going to hold on to her until she lets go, to let her know, I'm here for you, baby. I'm riding for you. I got your back. I am your man. I love you for life. I'm not going anywhere, and you don't have to be perfect because I am yours and I was born for you. And when he goes through that test, that's when he then is chosen by her. He chases, she chooses. If you're going through the courting phase and you're entering into the pull away phase and you're freaking out, and you're not putting this man through a process to see if this man legitimately is for you, because you start to chase him because you get scared and you're afraid of letting go or losing him or whatever the heck you've been telling yourself, ma'am, you've already lost. Because the next phase is that you enter into, he's going to come running back. I promise you. He's going to come running back when you're living your fabulous life, when you are continuing to date in your power. You're interviewing at least 3 men at a time, and he's going to realize what he lost. And if he's really the right man for you, he's going to show you that he wants more, that he wants a committed relationship. And if you decide that that's what you want, because you properly vetted and evaluated him, then you're going to enter into the next phase for the committed relationship. But that's not the end. The next is engagement, and then it's marriage. And there's a biochemical process to each phase that would determine if this is going to be the kind of man that's going to love you for life. Now, fun fact, did you know that, ladies, if you don't give yourself an opportunity to allow a man to earn you and pour into you and feed your feminine energy, that it decreases the likelihood of you reaching your fullest potential to have an orgasm when you actually do have sex with him? Did you know that? Did you know that when you're operating high in your masculine energy, that decreases the quality of orgasms that you're having? That you're having sex with men who really aren't for you, that you're decreasing the quality of the sex that you're having with these men? Did you know that it's causing vaginal dryness, weight gain, that's increasing your risk of hypertension and diabetes, and driving your estrogen down as you're dating these low quality Build-A-Bears who are driving you more into your masculine energy? Also, that when you haven't healed your love blocks, and because of these archetypes, you are dating at the lowest point of your trauma, did you know that that means that you also have money blocks? And that you, per the studies, are losing upwards of 30% of your earning potential? 30%. And they said, according to the statistics, that if you're a six-figure earning woman, that you are losing upwards of $500,000 to $2 million from having these love blocks. How many of you guys knew that you was actually losing money from having love blocks, from dating and choosing Build-A-Bears? And the people that's losing the most are the rubies and the amethysts. The rubies and the amethysts are losing the most money long term because of their love blocks. Yes, ma'am. It's expensive to stay by yourself, for one, because according to the studies, you're losing at least $1 million staying by yourself. But dating in your pain and not healing the love blocks, is leading to a 30% revenue loss. And according to studies, is leading to upwards of a loss of $2 million. Okay? That's a lot of daggone money. How many of you guys want to know, like, how do I fix this? How do I stop the bleed? How do I attract my romantic best friend? How do I stop going through the ups and downs of trying to figure this love thing out? How do I stop getting my heart broken? How do I stop dating the Build-A-Bears? How do I start attracting the high-value masculine men who actually love pouring into me? You know, one of the things that I learned and discovered when I did my dating experiment, when I figured out these things that I'm teaching you, is that the men that are in their masculine energy, oh my God, y'all, like, they love pouring into you and giving to you. Like, love it. The man that bought me a house and gave it to me and gave me the deed, like, he was so daggone happy to surprise me with the house. Another man, when he bought me the car, like, gave me the keys to a fully paid car. Like, they love it. taking me shopping. It was like an inside joke with me and my girlfriends, and we didn't understand it then. And now I understand it. That's what masculine energy does. It loves to pour into you. And when you have alignment and you know how to be able to align with the energy of a masculine man by first healing your love blocks, increasing your feminine energy, and to be able to become the best version of you, then you understand how to be able to attract that kind of man every single time. If you are ready to learn this secret, then say I. If you're ready to fix this, just say I. If you really are ready to fix this, you're tired of losing money, you're tired of losing time, you're tired of trying to figure this out, you're tired. And you know that watching all of the free videos online and listening to all the experts is not doing it. And you've been in therapy and you've been therapized. And even though therapy has given you the insights, it hasn't given you the transformation that you've been looking for. It hasn't given you the results in your love life that you've been looking for. And you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. And you're ready to fix this for once and for all. If you're ready, just say I. Because by saying I, it's almost like you're saying to the universe, like, I'm ready to say yes to myself. I'm ready to choose myself. I'm ready to have better for myself. Here's the thing that I'm going to tell you, right? Like, woman to woman, I'm going to tell you this, that I learned this the hard way. As I told you with my story earlier, I was homeless. I was on food stamps. I was a single woman with a blessing in the form of a child. And when I changed my life, I had negative $73 in my bank account. And this is the moment that completely changed my life. I was watching TV. I was living in a basement apartment with my daughter, and on the TV, Tony Robbins came on the TV. And when I saw Tony Robbins, something in my spirit was like, I need to go there. If I go there, it's going to change my life, right? And so many of you guys have said that, like you said, you've seen my video and you see me and you're like, I need her help. Like, I know if she helps me, it's going to change my life. I had that moment when I saw Tony Robbins. So he was having an event that was coming to Atlanta, and the event was $1,400 to get to the event at the time. Now, y'all, I had negative $73 in my bank account. Like, how the heck am I going to pay $1,400 to go to this event that I knew I had to go to in order for me to be able to change my life? Well, to me, it wasn't even an option. It was like, I'm going to that event. And something happened when I declared that I was going to go to that event. My whole life changed because money started to come out of nowhere. Literally, it fell out the sky. So when I went to the event, it was like $1,400 I went. And that was like the beginning of changing my life, of being able to put one foot in front of the other. And then that's when I was able to get a job. And then I got another job where my income 4X. And then I ended up getting into pharmaceutical sales. And when I got into pharmaceutical sales, I ended up investing in the stocks with my company. And when I invested in the stocks with my company, I ended up like, while I was working for my company, I kept purchasing programs, right? I would like learn in different programs and I kept investing in myself. And eventually when my company discriminated against me, I took my stock portfolio, which was like at about $275,000. I took that, and then my husband took out all of his stocks, and we put it into me being able to start the Love Mastery Agency. And that's what I started full time, because I was coaching part time when I was working my pharmaceutical sales job. And then I launched the business in 2020, okay? And for those of you who knows what happened in 2020, you know in 2020, that's when everything shut down. That was the worst time, I thought, at the time, to like walk away from my job. But when they discriminated against me, my amazing husband was like, F that job. You don't need that job. I got us. I will pay the bills. I'm going to take my money out of the 401k. I'll combine it with what you have. Go start your business. Now, y'all, I lost all the money. I'm just going to tell you the truth. Listen to me. I started a business. I lost all the money. Literally. I live in Atlanta. It's the land of scammers. I kept getting scammed. I couldn't get any customers. I couldn't figure it out. I cried to a love bug every single day. I didn't know what the hell I was going to do. And I kept saying, like, you know, maybe I should just go get a job. And my husband would say to me every day, like, you already have a job, work your business. I believe in you. It's going to work. It's going to work. And he kept speaking life into me. And then at some point I was like, I need a coach, right? Clearly there's a lot that I don't know. I keep making mistakes. I keep getting scammed. I keep getting taken advantage of. I'm losing way too much money. I keep saying I can't get a coach because I don't have the money, but I need to figure it out, because at this point I'm just going to keep losing money and I need to make it work. So anyway, I hired a coach. And when I hired a coach who can walk me through step by step what I can do and like what landmines that I could avoid, then that helped me to be able to take the company. And it was like several other things that happened, but that was able to take the company where I was able to grow it in 1 year to $1 million. So I was able to hit over $1 million in 1 year. By the second year, I was able to double it. By the third year, I was able to triple it. And it's been growing ever since then. Now, why am I telling you this? The only reason why I'm telling you this, talking to you woman to woman, is because as women, y'all listen, because I'm in these organizations, right, where it's like it's mostly male dominated, where men are investing like $150,000 to be in these like different groups, right, think tanks or what have you, and they are investing to get like this kind of coaching. And men have been, from the time they were younger, they've been taught that the world's their oyster, they can do whatever they want, to focus on themselves, to pour into themselves. And women, we have been brainwashed that you're not a good woman if you're not thinking about everybody else. So we will sacrifice ourselves, and we'll pour into our kids, we'll pour into our friends, we'll pour into our family. We will sacrifice and invest in other people, but to invest in ourselves is so freaking hard. And when I see like men who are doing it, they make significantly more, and they're investing in like mindset coaching, they're investing in business coaching, and they're doing all of this stuff. And for women, like if you tell a woman to invest $20,000 in herself, she's looking like, oh my God, like she's freaking out, because we have purposely been brainwashed to stay out of the room. And we're being brainwashed to stay out of the room where the decisions are being made. And the reason why is because our feminine energy is so powerful. We would naturally be able to attract the business. We would naturally be able to multiply whatever we're investing in ourselves. And we are a threat oftentimes, is what I'm finding when I'm in these certain spaces. If I tell you nothing else, y'all, listen to me. The best thing I ever did was invest in 5 things. The first thing is investing in my healing. Investing in my healing beyond therapy, because even with going to therapy, ma'am, it just wasn't enough. I'm just gonna be honest with you, it wasn't enough. The second thing was investing in business, investing in my health, investing when it came to my spiritual growth. I have a spiritual coach. And when it came to investing in being good at doing what it is that I do, like speaking, running a business, doing things like that, like investing in myself in those 5 areas. If I was to attribute my success, I would attribute to those 5 things. You should always invest when it comes to your love life, when it comes to your mindset, and when it comes to your healing, and when it comes to your spiritual growth. Which is why when I developed Boss Diva University, I developed it in a way to be holistic, so that it's being able to take care of all of those elements and support you as a woman to not only achieve the love of your dreams, but the life of your dreams. At this point now, ma'am, you have no excuse. Like, there literally is no excuse for you to not choose yourself anymore, because I understand that you have different budgets, right? Like, there's some people who financially, like, they need enough to be able to start to alleviate the love blocks that can alleviate the money blocks. And then as they make more money, then they can invest more in themselves, which will allow them to make more money, which allows them to invest in themselves. So what I did was I went to the lab and I developed programs that could help those women who are financially there. And for other women who want more support, who actually want coaching, then we have programs that can support them there if they're able to invest in themselves. But either way, I made it so that now you have 0 excuses. So for those of you who are really ready to up-level your love life and start your journey, then this is what I want you to do, so that you can be able to now take advantage of receiving over $2,500 worth of bonuses and gifts that I'm just gonna give you for choosing yourself. Go to lovemappingcall.com, okay? Go to lovemappingcall.com. Book your love mapping call. If you are ready to meet your romantic best friend this year, and you're ready to put your where your mouth are and take the steps necessary in order to change your life, to heal your love blocks, increase your feminine energy, become the best version of yourself, and help you date in your power, so that you can finally attract a masculine, marriage-minded man who will absolutely love your soul and love pouring into you.